round 2 edition of the Shore Conference Tournament.
Hey, your thing keeps cutting out.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit. I hope it's not the Wi-Fi.
Technical difficulties. Please stand by. Yeah, see, like every other word's getting cut off.
Okay, hang on a second. I just reset my Wi-Fi. Let's see if that works.
It sounded like it might have just cut out a little bit.
But
yeah, see, like you just said 3 words and nothing came out.
All right, I'm going to switch phone.
Do we have to sign out of this?
All right, I'm going to switch phone. I don't know. Hang on.
Should I play some intermission music while you're going through technical difficulties?
Oh. All right. Lot, I'm going to send you a new link. All right?
All right. Oh, wait. Is that going to mess everybody else's link up or just ours?
If anybody's in here, I'm going to repost a new link for everybody to join.
Now you're not cutting out.
Well, let's go. We'll see.
But now you are. I think the closer you get to the thing, it's not cutting out. But if you sit back, it is kind of cutting out.
So should I hold my phone?
If you want to hold it the whole time, but yeah, it's not cutting out then.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. The technology today. Let's see if we could. Was that all good? No cutout there?
No, it's all good.
All right, I'm going to hold my phone now. Yeah, thank you for everybody joining. Doug and I are going to go through yesterday's game. A couple really exciting ones. It went basically how we thought it was going to go. You know, teams all won. Hi, somebody who.
Whoever these people are, hello.
Hello, thank you. Hi.
Hola, hello.
Yeah, one like.
These are all bots, I think. But
yeah, so
we have 19 bots in the chat right now.
Probably we got one like though, so that's good.
That's good. Keep liking us if you're a bot. I don't care.
Yeah. So let's start at the top of the bracket, which might have been the best game of the day. Marlboro and Point Borough.
Yeah, I mean, Marlboro had a 28-point lead at one point in the game. We were getting updates from somebody at the game, and it was like 28 points, 23 points. It was 21 points or 19 points going into the fourth quarter, and I just figured it was over. And I was watching another game, and then we're getting updates. It's down to 7, down to 5, down to 2, and I guess Point Borough put on a press, cut the lead to 2, but couldn't get over the hump. And Klatsky had a couple of free throws at the end. And Marlboro survived 74-72.
Yeah, it seems like the second quarter, typical Marlboro fashion, started draining the threes, built a really big lead. And, credit Point Borough, they didn't pack it in. They battled. It seemed like Marlboro struggled against the press, which is not good going into the next round against RBC. But exciting game. While we were getting updates, we probably wished we were there. But good job, Point Borough, for not packing it in.
Yeah, and not quitting. It was
good job from Marlboro, closing the game out, because that would have been a bad defeat if they didn't win that game up by that much.
Although you and I did pick Point Borough, we did say if Klatsky and Callow went off, that it would be a long night for Point Borough. But like you said, give Coach Drew and the girls credit. They could have packed it in. They could have quit. But Julia Collins had a great game, 24 points, 12 rebounds as a freshman. D'Angelo, 17 points. But Klatsky, 30, and Callow, 22, 52 points combined is tough to overcome.
Yeah. And how many 3-pointers? Did you have that or
I
no?
didn't count that up, but I know I think it was the third quarter alone, Callow had 3 or 4. But yeah, somebody wants us to say their name, but it's going to cost them. You gotta throw us some cash.
Four, 14 threes. Callow and Klasky had 6 each.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen. If you're going to shoot like that, it's a tough day for anybody. Um, but we knew that could happen. JT did pick Marlboro, so he was the only one that won that game. But good effort by both teams, and now Marlboro gets the
Defending.
inevitable task of heading to Red Bank.
Yeah.
So,
Meet the defending champions.
yeah,
Next game, Red Bank Regional beat Frio Township 43-29. All three of us picked Red Bank Regional. They're just playing really good. But, Zoe Goalie out with an illness. They're going to need her if she's not, hopefully she's better and in uniform tomorrow against St. Rose. But,
right.
and I mean, nothing really stood out in that game. It's about what you expected.
No, we kind of expected that. Maybe a little low scoring, but like Canton had 10 points, 14 rebounds. Joyce had 10 and 6. Maddie Scarino for Freehold, her last short conference tournament, 13 points. So she played very well. But like we expected, Red Bank Regional would win that game. And they move on to face their division opponent, who they played twice and split with. But we'll get more into that when we do our predictions for the next round.
And next game, the 12 seed Middletown South beat Kingsburg 40-33. Another, great job by Kingsburg, 14-0 after one, and they didn't go away. They cut it to within 3 in the final minute, and South was able to hit some foul shots and close out the game, and Kingsburg couldn't get the big shot to fall.
Yeah. Everybody's Cinderella darling. It did look bleak there. In the third quarter, it was 27-12, and Middletown South was pressing them, getting turnovers. And, like credit to Keensburg. They could have folded playing at their, best competition they played all year, and they just kept fighting. And, Flansbaum proved that she's one of the better players in the shore, 16 points. Bettinger had 10, I think. Yeah, Bettinger had 12. Middletown South didn't put their stats up, so I don't know who their leading scorer was. But watching that game a little bit, it looked like they were pretty even across the board. And they're going to have a tough game next round. But again, credit to Keensburg, their first loss of the year, and the way they've been playing, pretty special.
Yeah. Yeah, they should be, proud of themselves, especially not packing it in down 14-0. Next, 13 seed Jackson Township defeat the 20 seed Central Regional 49-40. I think all three of us went with Jackson. That went how I figured it was going to go. Tight game, probably physical. I don't know. I think you watched some of it.
I watched it. Jackson built kind of a big lead in the fourth quarter, and then, as they do, they got sloppy. They, I think they were up 11 towards the end of the game. There was somebody on the ball, pressure. Jackson was taking the ball out of bounds under their own basket. On the ball pressure, but nobody pressuring anybody else. And the girl taking the ball out threw it right to the other team. It was just, it was inexplicable. I didn't understand what was going on. There were a couple like that, just bad turnovers. And they're going to have to clean that up, because I think they have a chance next round, but they have to play a little cleaner.
Yeah. And I noticed, she wasn't in the stat. Did she play, or
It looked like she was on the court.
Okay, they just might have not put her in the stats.
Yeah, I don't know if she had any stats and they just left her out. But Feiner had another big game, 24 points, 6 rebounds, 4 blocks. Brooks hit a couple threes. Christensen led Central with 16, and Anneker had 10.
Okay. Next game, Toms of Reese, 14 seed, beat Manchester 51-41. Looks like they solved their problem that going into the tournament. Because I think Manchester just beat them a week and a half ago.
Yeah. Tom's East. It was a tie game going into the fourth, and East just blitzed them in the fourth, 17-7. The one interesting thing I saw in the box score is that Serrano only had 6 points for Manchester. So maybe Coach Cohen drew up a plan to take her out of it, give Maddie her points, and try to stop everybody else. And it worked. Dickman had a big game, 20 points, 8 rebounds. Gaffman had 6 points, 14 rebounds. Jillian Fitzgibbons, 10 points, 8 rebounds. Nolan finished with 18. But if you're only going to get a combined 24 out of the 2 big guards at Manchester, it's going to be tough to win.
Yeah. And great job by East. They were slumping a little, turned that around and closed out the game strong. So,
yep.
Good job there. Next game I was at, Brick Township escapes Homedale, 41-39. Homedale led the whole game, except for the opening basket. Brick scored that, and then Homedale led the whole way. Now, Ari Wisson, sick. You saw her in her warm-up. She did not look healthy, and hopefully they get her. Hopefully she'll be fine for tomorrow. Got taken out of the game the final minute of the first. Tried to give it a go. Midway through the second, just couldn't do it. And but big win for Brick. Young team, and to win without your star, your go-to player, I think, I was talking to coach last night, and I think that's going to pay bigger dividends than you can imagine going forward.
Yeah, and they, kept it in the family because her cousin was the leading scorer yesterday. Yep. Pozo had 13, Fredrickson 10. Fredrickson hit back-to-back threes in the early in the fourth. I think that kind of started turning the tide for Brick. And I know you were there. I was watching on TV. It looked like Homedale was getting manhandled in the post, and there weren't many calls. I don't know if it looked worse there than on TV, but I know Coach was screaming. I could hear her on TV you're calling at the other end, call it on my end. It just looked that Homedale was getting hit, and not many fouls were being called.
Yeah, and especially in the first, Zamek got hit a couple times going to the hoop. No call, and then the same exact play would happen the other end. Brick would get the call. There was a backcourt they called that the ref was right there, and even the person who was a Brick fan sitting next to me was like, she just got pushed backcourt like that. Then Zamek got called for a foul and a Brick girl tripped, but that actually benefited Homedale because they needed to get their fourth so to get Brick to the line quicker. And then Brick fell with the ball, no travel call, and Jess really that was one that really got her going. That she had the ball in her hand and she fell to the ground. How is that not a travel? But give Brick credit. Ponzo, she came off the bench right away, knocked down a three to give them some life. Kevin did a good job with the timeouts. Every time we get to 7, he would call timeout, kind of settle it. And Homedale called a timeout up 2, and Brick was able to get a turnover or a missed shot, and that was it. And Ponzo hit a big 3. She was kind of left wide open. Her third and fourth, I don't know. It was just a good play call and bad defensive combination. But both, she got free and she made it 40-37. Final score 41-39. And great job by Brick's defense to close out the game. They didn't allow Zamet to get a shot off for potential tie and basket. So great job there.
Yep.
So, and Stout had she had the first basket of the game. She was very strong, rebounding. Did a really good job. The role players really stepped up, did what they needed to do, creating some turnovers. So we'll see. They get the rematch round 3 with Howell. Up 2, we'll talk about that. But it was a really exciting game and a great job to Brick to win with your star on the bench.
Yeah, definitely.
Next game, I know I took Southern. I think everyone else took Neptune. Close game, 55-51. Neptune wins and advance. But impressive showing by Southern.
Yeah, Southern had them down most of the game. Neptune had to come back and win. But we knew that was going to be a tough place to play for Southern. And credit Neptune. They're missing two of their excuse me, two of their starters. Their best players out. And then their freshman Edgerson had a big game last night. I think she had 25 and 14, really dominated the middle. Ellington had 10. But Southern's two freshmen really stepped up in their first short conference game. Blahut had 19 and 14 and 4 assists, and Fratola had 16 points. So there is some hope. Sininsky's a sophomore, so Southern's a young team. They got to the short conference tournament, represented themselves well, and that bodes well for their future.
Yeah, looking at their roster and the way they've been playing, they should be near the top 10 all season next year, with a year experience, and if they, keep developing. But, their freshmen really stepped up in this game, and look forward to the future down there.
Maybe they'll find another 6-footer somewhere down in the sticks they can develop.
Yeah, that's what they need. They need a little height.
Yeah.
The last game, 18 seed Shore defeated Toms River South 44-31. I think all three of us picked South, right? Shore.
Picked Shore. Yes.
Yeah, I know I did. Shore. So, you got the stats on that one?
Yeah. Shore. The game. South was winning after the first quarter, and then Shore went on a 27-9 run over the middle two quarters that really just, cracked the back of South. Coyle had 12 points.
Uh-oh. I think Doug froze. Yeah, there you
go. It was a spam call.
Sorry, guys. That's the problem of going live.
Exactly. I wasn't deep thought. Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
I was saying Emma Madison had a big game. We talked about their size advantage. 2 points, but 14 rebounds. So if she can continue that and Coyle and Tilton continue to score, Shore's going to be tough. But Cribben at 16, she didn't really get the help from her. From everybody did not have their normal game for South. Gordon had 7, but Cribben, played as well as she always does, and Shore moves on.
Yeah, and Coach Truhan, he brought up how Emily Coyle has been inserted into the starting lineup. 3 threes.
Yes.
Double digits. Yep. That's big. And we harped on the 3-headed monsters, for the playoff time, and if she can continue playing that, Shore has their 3-headed monster for scoring.
Definitely. And like I said, if Madison can keep controlling the rebounds and doing the dirty work, they're going to be a tough out.
All right, might as well stay down here, and we could preview who Shore's going to play next. And they're going to need Madison because they go up against SJV, who has a lot of height, a lot of length, and one of the top 2 teams.
Yeah, I mean, we could say Shore's going to be a tough out, but it's really not this round. I don't see this game being close. No. I think we talked about it the other day. Dawn probably using that number 2 seed to her advantage, some chalk, some bulletin board fodder. Hey, they don't respect us. We're number 2. We just beat RBC. And, those kids don't need any motivation. They know what they have to do. And the first thing they need to do is go in there and kick Shore's butt. And I think they're ready to do that. I just don't see this game being close.
Yeah, curious because I think somebody said Lockhart's a little banged up. If she rests this game, probably don't need her really as good as they are. But I agree. I would like to see, like we said, if SJV, RBC wasn't in the tournament, Shore's a team might be talking about going far. But, you run into SJV in round 2, your tournament's over. Yeah.
And it's, they got the win in the first round, but these games are just going to get tougher as they go along.
Yeah, and I'm sure that win helps them power points because I think they were 10 in Central Jersey Group One.
That should
That's
move them up because South was top five, I think, in the South three. So that should get them a lot of points.
Yeah, because they're gonna need to move up, especially you don't want to go on a road to some of these other conferences, not knowing what kind of refereeing and calls you're going to be getting.
Well, you want to kind of avoid being on New Providence's side of the
Right.
bracket. So you want to, you don't want to end up 8. So 10 would be
Yep.
10's good. If they can move up to 7, even better. 6, but
Yep.
try to avoid New Providence.
Yeah, because that's ultimately everybody's goal is to get to that New Prov game. In that, the winner of that game will play the winner of Trinity Hall Neptune, who met just over a week ago. Really wasn't close. It was close in the first quarter, and then Carey got hurt, and Trinity Hall really blew that game open. Ended 17-1 run to end the half, then started out on a 7-2 run. I think you're going to see more of the same. I think Trinity Hall motivated. They want to make a deep run, and just take the last game as evidence of that.
Yeah, this is a bad second round draw for Neptune, having just played them last week, losing by 27 points.
Yeah.
I think, I would hope that Trinity plays with a little chip on their shoulder. Maybe the regular season didn't go as they planned or wanted it to, but they still have all the talent in the world to make a run to, um, maybe the Final Four. Who knows? I mean, it's going
Yeah.
to be tough when they run into SJV, but they do have talent, and I hope that they show up and are ready to play. I think they will. I think Matt probably has them thinking, listen, let's get to SJV and see what happens. So tough draw for Neptune. Yeah, I think Trinity wins.
Yeah. The next game could probably be the game of the day. Brick travels over to Howell. It'll be the third time they meet. Howell is 2-0. The last game was at Brick. Brick was winning the majority of the game, and Howell just closed that game out. It's tough to beat a team 3 times in a season, though. It's really hard, but really could depend if Ari's healthy, if she's feeling better, and Howell has size. They match up good with Brick. So Bella Rose has done a great job both games on Ari. So they're going to need to hit their. Kendall's going to have to be on, and Pazzo's going to have to be on.
Yeah, I mean the big thing, like you said, is Whitson going to play? If she does play, is she at 100%? It's going to be a big story for Brick. If she's not, I mean, I think Howell wins the game. But this is a tough one because I think Brick can't, like you said, they were winning the last game they played. And Howell's tough. I mean, Stout's going to have to do a good job on Beam. She's going to have to play her tough, neutralize her a little bit, use their fouls, use the Bigs fouls. And Marino's not just going to have to guard Whitson if she plays, but she's going to have to score. So they're going to need scoring from her. They're probably going to need Smith to score, get some points elsewhere. Man, this is tough. I'm going to pick Howell, but I think it's going to be really close. I think Beam probably has a big game. Whitson being the X factor, we don't know if she's going to play or be healthy, so I'll go with Howell.
I'm going to go with you with that. I do think Brick has a lot of momentum, though, the way they won the last against Homedale. The team probably has a lot more confidence. I just think Beam she's strong. Stout's strong, but Beam's really, really strong, and they're gonna have to figure out how to get Ari free because Bella Rose did a really good job on her, both not just denying the ball, her length. So I'm gonna go with Howell. It's gonna be close. Hopefully last possession again. I think, but Howell, I think they get the sweep 3-0, and Coach Stockhoff could use this as motivation for
Yeah,
whiteboard material, as Coach Wishley would
yeah,
always say.
yeah. I just think Beam has the advantage because she can step outside a little bit. She's got
Yeah,
some range.
yeah,
So yeah, I guess we're both going with Howell.
yeah. Or the flip side, Beam can get in foul trouble, and that's
Listen, that's why they play the game, right?
yeah,
You never know, but uh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Both of us go with Howell. Well, the winner of that ends up playing the winner of Toms River East, a 14th seed at Manasquan. Unfortunately for East, not a team you want to play in the second round. Strong defensively, and they got 3 players that could score, and Manasquan's just playing really, really good ball. And they've beaten everybody in the Shore except the top 2.
Manasquan is one of 3 teams that is very deep, and that's why they're the 1, 2, and 3 teams in the
Yeah.
Shore. East starting 5 is very good. Even with Francis out, Fitzgibbons played very well yesterday, but they just don't have enough to keep up with Manasquan's pace and Manasquan's pressure, and they're subbing in 9, 10 people. They're just going to wear East down, and the final score may not be indicative of how close East and how hard we'll play them.
Mm-hmm.
It could get out of hand, but yeah, I think Manasquan wins the game.
Yeah, yeah, that was an easy one. Next game, Rumson, the 4 seed, hosts Jackson. Rumson, a little losing streak coming into the playoffs, but they don't have an easy game on their schedule. So, just the way they lost to St. Rose, it was a lot of points. But I don't think I think they advance.
I think I think RFH is going to come in saying, "Hey, we lost the last 5 games we played, but all teams except for St. Rose maybe were higher than them in the ranking. But St. Rose, even with their record, is still a great team. Jackson has been playing very well, and I'm going to pick Jackson. I mean, it's where I grew up. It's a sentimental pick. I love Dave. I've known Rachel for a long time. I think she has the talent this year to actually match up a little better with Rumson because they always used to play after the regular season ended. They would play in that between the states and Shore Conference. But I think she has the horses this year. The one caveat I'm going to say, like I said the other day, if they turn the ball over a lot, this game could get ugly. If they can control the ball, not turn the ball over, if Feiner can have another big game, if Old can get her double, they're going to need Ambos to shoot better than she shot yesterday. But if everything aligns right for Jackson, I think they can win the game. So I'm going to go with my former hometown, and go with Jackson.
A big factor, I think, this game, Chloe Kelly not pick up the silly fouls that she's picked up this season, because they're going to need her. Whether she's on Feiner or Old, they're going to need her defense out there. She gets into some foul trouble. That could be a little issue. I just think Erin Reed's is a strong player, and they're gonna have to throw everything at her to slow her down. So my pick.
Erin will probably draw some fouls on Jackson's bigs also. So I mean, Erin's going to have a game. She's going to have a game. Grace is going to play well. Chloe, though, I think this is a game where everybody's going to give 100% because both teams think they can win this game, and I think that's important. And we'll see. Who knows? That's why they play the game. Say it again. That's why they play the game.
Yeah. The winner of that game gets Colts Neck, Middletown South winner. Middletown South defeated Kingsburg. They did make it close, like we said before. Colts Neck won the division, beat Trinity Hall. to end the regular season, and 2 wins against Howell. They put together a tough schedule to get them ready for this young team. I just think Colts Neck's going to be a little too much for Middletown South.
Yeah, I think the game will be, it could be close for a little bit, maybe a quarter into the second quarter. I think it'll be closer than a lot of people think. I just think Colts Neck has figured it out. Like I said the other day, I think early in the season, they're young. They didn't really know what winning was and how important it was. But now I think they've gotten into their head that they're a very good team and they can make it pretty far, if not in the short conference in the States. So, yeah, McAndrew's playing really well. Jacina's playing well. Donahue. I mean, just the team is very good. And Middletown North starting five is very good. Again, depth is going to be an issue. But I think it'll be close, but I think I'll go Colts Neck.
Yeah, both picks Colts Neck. Next game probably could be the game of the day. St. Rose, the 8, Red Bank Regional, the 9. They both split. St. Rose ending the regular season very strong. Just beat Rumson by 20 plus. RBR did get the win a little over a week ago on senior night at RBR. But I'm going to go with St. Rose. One, yes, my home school. But I think they're playing really well. And I've said all season, I think that they're a team that they could make the semis if they could avoid the top 2 teams. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to avoid the top 2 teams. But I think playing in their home gym, they move on.
That makes a huge difference, what you just said, playing in St. Rose's gym.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough place to play. It's a little tiny bandbox and fans on one side of the court. RBR got the win the other day, which it could be a little bit of an advantage. They got a run in on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
St. Rose hasn't played for a couple days. They might have a little momentum going into the game. As you said, they did split the regular season. St. Rose won by 9, RBR won by 3, 2 pretty close games. We'll see if Gully plays. If Gully plays, she can shoot the ball, and that gives RBR another dimension. If she doesn't play, it's going to be tough. St. Rose has kind of figured out their rotation. Like we said the other day, addition by subtraction. I don't think Alvarado is going to play, but Decker's been stepping up in her absence, playing really well. Janicki, of course, is going to give you 100%. Misery, great player. I think I'll go St. Rose just because they're hot and they're at home.
St. Rose actually played Middletown South on Monday. Maybe South ran out of gas at the end of that Kingsburg game.
Listen, maybe. Was that a scheduled game or a game that they picked
up? It was
up?
St. Rose senior night, so I don't know if they.
Okay, so maybe Dan did them a favor and went and played them. Yeah, I don't know, but even still, I think just being at home gives them a couple point advantage. Yeah. Even though I think didn't RBR beat them at St. Rose?
No,
it was at RBR.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that makes enough of an advantage for St. Rose.
Yeah. And the last game, Marlboro 17th seed traveling to RBC. I mean, really don't need to say much about that game.
No. I think Klatsky and Callow had very good games the other day, but they're going to see what length does on the defensive end. They're not going to get the shooting room that they probably got the other day. Not like you said, not much to say about this one. Can't really make a case for Marlboro. RBC, pretty big.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a long bus ride for Marlboro on the ride home. But good showing in the first round. Big, they could carry that. Central Jersey Group 4 is not the strongest.
It's wide open.
Not the strongest. So Marlboro could make a little run there, and Malinsky's going to take one of those players out. They're not going to get a lot of shots, and so RBC.
Yeah, it's just going to be a blitzkrieg from the start.
Yeah, it just questionably could when the running clock starts probably for that game.
Yeah, I mean, mixed feelings on the running clock, but I think regular season it probably wasn't needed. Maybe tomorrow Marlboro will be happy to have a running clock. Maybe, I don't know, but
so all right, so there we go, everybody. Our predictions. We'll be back at it on Friday. Hopefully, we'll work on getting a guest. Now, I know JT had a game, I think, today, right? Or he had something.
Yes, did a game. Our go-to people had games tonight, which is fine. But
yeah,
I think Friday night the schedule is pretty clear, so we will get somebody on to help us make quarterfinal predictions, and see what happens tomorrow. I think I'm going to go to the Jackson Rumson game. I can make a doubleheader at I can never remember the name of the stinking restaurant there. They got the best burger in the shore. Barnacle Bills. Barnacle Bills. I can make a doubleheader, go to Barnacle Bills, get a burger, hit the Jackson Rumson game. Should be a decent game. So listen, I know Dave Brown posts that he posts his food stuff, but I kind of do make my trips around the shore based on food where I can go.
I'm leaning RBR St. Rose. It depends if I can get out of work at a timely manner tomorrow. If not, I don't know where I'll be, but I'm looking to head there. What time's the help?
I know the Jackson game's at 5:30. That's the only one I really know is a set time. So I don't know about the other ones.
So we could go through the times real quick. Oh, I don't want to print. RBC is at 5. St. Rose is at 4.
No, that's early. Okay.
Colts next at 5. And I just hit something. Jackson Rumson 5:30. Toms River East at Manasquan's at 5. That's probably because they're doing the boys
girls doubleheader. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bricks at Howell 4 p.m., which Howell usually does right after school.
Yeah.
Neptune's at Trinity 4:30, a little early. And Shores at SJV 5 p.m.
Okay. Yeah. So all the games starting before 5:30, which is good.
Yeah, which is good. We'll have the scores and everything updated early tomorrow. So, all right. Thank you for everybody joining us.
Sounds good. Everybody that came in here, that all the people looking for whatever they were looking for.
Yeah. Hope you found what you were looking for.
Exactly.
So. And thank you, everybody that actually follows me for basketball purposes. And
we appreciate it. During the season, seeing everybody at the gym and people appreciate what we do, and we appreciate that they appreciate us. So
yeah, we work hard.
Yeah.
So, all right, have a good night, everybody.
All right, take care.